We are not rich by what we possess, but by what we can do without. He who is cruel to animals becomes hard also in his dealings with men. We can judge the heart of a man by his treatment of animals. Act in such a way that you treat humanity, whether in your own person or in the person of any other, never merely as a means to an end, but always at the same time as an end. Look closely. The beautiful may be small. I had to deny knowledge in order to make room for faith. Dare to think. Two things fill the mind with ever-increasing wonder and awe, the more often and the more intensely the mind of thought is drawn to them. The starry heavens above me and the moral law within me. One who makes himself a worm cannot complain afterwards if people step on him. All our knowledge begins with the senses, proceeds then to the understanding, and ends with reason. There is nothing higher than reason. Whereas the beautiful is limited, the sublime is limitless, so that the mind in the presence of the sublime, attempting to imagine what it cannot, has pain in the failure, but pleasure in contemplating the immensity of the attempt. For peace to reign on earth, humans must evolve into new beings who have learned to see the whole first. Out of the crooked timber of humanity, no straight thing was ever made. Rules for happiness. Something to do, someone to love, something to hope for. Seek not the favor of the multitude, it is seldom got by honest and lawful means. But seek the testimony of few, and number not voices, but weigh them. The busier we are, the more acutely we feel that we live, the more conscious we are of life. Genius is the ability to independently arrive at and understand concepts that would normally have to be taught by another person. The death of dogma is the birth of morality. But only he who, himself enlightened, is not afraid of shadows. Space and time are the framework within which the mind is constrained to construct its experience of reality. Thoughts without content are empty. Intuitions without concepts are blind. Have patience a while, slanders are not long-lived. Truth is the child of time, ere long she shall appear to vindicate thee. We are enriched not by what we possess, but by what we can do without. Dare to know. Have the courage to use your own intelligence. The reading of all good books is like a conversation with the finest minds of past centuries. Treat people as an end, and never as a means to an end. Man must be disciplined, for he is by nature raw and wild. New prejudices will serve as well as old ones to harness the great unthinking masses. Act only according to that maxim, whereby you can at the same time will that it should become a universal law. Have the courage to use your own reason. That is the motto of enlightenment. How then is perfection to be sought? Wherein lies our hope? In education, and in nothing else. If the truth shall kill them, let them die. There is something splendid about innocence, but what is bad about it, in turn, is that it cannot protect itself very well and is easily seduced. Law and freedom without violence. Anarchy. Law and violence without freedom. Despotism. Violence without freedom and law. Barbarism. violence with freedom and law. Republic. In all judgments by which we describe anything as beautiful, we allow no one to be of another opinion. Enlightenment is man's emergence from his self-incurred immaturity. Marriage is the union of two people of different sexes with a view to the mutual possession of each other's sexual attributes for the duration of their lives. Nothing is divine but what is agreeable to reason. But although all our knowledge begins with experience, it does not follow that it arises from experience. The people naturally adhere most to doctrines which demand the least self-exertion and the least use of their own reason, and which can best accommodate their duties to their inclinations. An action, to have moral worth, must be done from duty. Morality is not properly the doctrine of how we may make ourselves happy, but how we may make ourselves worthy of happiness. Only the descent into the hell of self-knowledge can pave the way to godliness. Experience without theory is blind, but theory without experience is mere intellectual play. All false art, all vain wisdom, lasts its time, but finally destroys itself, and its highest culture is also the epoch of its decay. Nature is beautiful because it looks like art, and art can only be called beautiful if we are conscious of it as art, while yet it looks like nature. Without man and his potential for moral progress, the whole of reality would be a mere wilderness, a thing in vain, and have no final purpose. It was the duty of philosophy to destroy the illusions which had their origin in misconceptions, whatever darling hopes and valued expectations may be ruined by its explanations. To be is to do. In the kingdom of ends, everything has either a price or a dignity. What is a price can be replaced by something else as its equivalent, what on the other hand is raised above all price and therefore admits of no equivalent has a dignity. The schematicism by which our understanding deals with the phenomenal world is a skill so deeply hidden in the human soul that we shall hardly guess the secret trick that nature here employs. Simply to acquiesce in skepticism can never suffice to overcome the restlessness of reason.